Alright, let's get started. Alright, there we go. Oh, you're back already. Managed to stop those delinquents? All about that. We think this situation might be bit more complicated than expected. How so? Interesting. Chief? Alright. I'll leave everything concerning this case to you lot, then. Wait, what? What do you mean by that exactly? Whether you're willing to continue the investigation is entirely up to you. You won't be getting any info about Ravash out of me either. You have to dig for it on your own. How are we supposed to, if I told you to stop the investigation, would you follow orders? What? The Mafia being involved in this case already overcomplicates things. As your supervisor, the most logical step for me is to order you to close the case immediately. Now, is that what you want me to do? No. If we gave up now, it'd just leave a bad taste in my mouth. Randy's right, especially after learning as much as we have. I agree as well. Well, I suppose if you naive kids slipped up and got yourselves hurt on my watch, I'd have a hard time sleeping at night. So I'll do you a favor and introduce you to a trusted consultant of mine. A consultant? Grimwood Law Office. Something about that name rings a bell. It's located over on West Street. Run by a lawyer named Ian. Big bearded guy. Oh, near the bakery, right? I remember talking to him a couple of times when I lived in the area. I've heard of him too. Mr. Grimwood mainly provides legal consultations to corporations and other businesses, right? Though I believe he also offers his services to ordinary citizens too. That's right. Between his beard and his build, the guy almost looks like a bear, so people have taken to call him Grizzly Grim. I'm sure he's got loads of info on the Mafia. Who knows, he might even have new intel that even the CPD doesn't know. Really? That is quite impressive. Just what kind of guy is this lawyer? You'll find out when you meet him. I've spoken with him previously about SSS-related matters. He'll at least hear you out if you tell him you're with the Special Sports section. I figure if nothing else, this will be a good opportunity for you to introduce yourselves. Understood, we'll check in with them. West Street is just around the corner. Everyone okay with paying his law office a visit? Of course. Shall we head out? Ah, Grimwood Law Office. I believe this is the place. Yeah, I've seen its owner around the neighborhood before. Had no idea he was such a prestigious lawyer, though. Well then, Mr. Grimwood, I'm sure we'll speak again in the near future. Of course, I'll be here. Can't your division do anything more to solve this, though? I wish you'd think a little more on how this will impact the citizens. Currying favor with the populace is not my responsibility. If you'll excuse me. You four. Is something the matter? Ah, I see. So you're those pups that Sergei decided to adopt. Come again? Hold on, that badge... You work for the CPD too? Who I am isn't important to you. I imagine you're here to speak with Mr. Grimwood about something. Whatever it is, I hope you don't intend on wasting his time. Unlike you useless rookies, he's a busy man. Excuse me? What was his problem? He looked like a detective from one of the investigative divisions. He appeared to be the arrogant type. Maybe, but I get the feeling Specs there can hold his own. Did you notice the weapon strapped under his left arm? Wait, he had a weapon? I didn't even see it. Impressive observation, Randy. I detected it with my sensors. He carried a large handgun, military grade, I believe. Yeah, sounds about right. Dang, guys. You two are amazing. Aha, it was nothing. I just managed to catch it out of the corner of my eye. More importantly, should we not head inside and greet the lawyer? Oh, right. I'm sure he's very busy, but we should still go ahead and introduce ourselves. Forget something, detective? Oh, pardon me. I mistook you all for someone else. Welcome to the Grimwood Law Office. How can I help you today? Oh, no need to hold back. If you have a question, ask away. You four look quite young. Have you gotten in trouble with some loans? Or perhaps you're looking to open a business together. Come now, ask me anything. No, sir, it's nothing like that. This guy's got a lot of energy for an old man. So this is the famous Grizzly Grim. See, the rumors are true. Hold on. Now that I've taken a closer look, I can't help but feel like I've seen you somewhere before, young man. Are you one of the kids that used to live in this neighborhood? Wow, you remember me? That's right, I lived in one of the apartment complexes here about 3 years ago. Allow me to properly introduce myself. My name is Lloyd Bannings. So you did live here. Yes, that explains why you look so familiar. Wait. Bannings? Then could you be Guy Bannings' younger brother? Huh? Yeah, I am. You knew my brother then? More than just knew him, Never mind, I suppose you're here to discuss something important. Come on in, you can fill me in on the details once we take a seat. Oh, and where are my manners? I am Ian Grimwood, lawyer and head of this law firm. I see. I was wondering when I would meet the special sports section that Sergei told me he was putting together. Oh yes, now that I think about it, I read an article in the Crossbow Times about you. You certainly showed diligence and spunk right out of the gate, didn't you? Sounds like our first job might have been a little exaggerated. So Guy's younger brother is a police officer now too. My, how wonderful. Can only imagine this is Adios's will. Mr. Grimwood, can I ask what your relationship was with my brother? Well, the same one I expect you and I will now have. Guy used to drop by occasionally to share and exchange all sorts of information with me. As I'm sure you know, he was an incredibly talented detective. So I'd wager he ended up helping me far more than I was able to help him. Wait a moment. Lloyd, your older brother's a detective? The hell, man, why didn't you tell us about him? Sorry guys, I guess it just never came up. Besides, guys, he's no longer with us. You mean he was killed in the line of duty about 3 years ago now? Oh. That explains why you left Crossbill. What happened to Guy truly was tragic. Believe it or not, I've conducted my own investigations into that particular incident. Sadly, any leads that may exist eluded me. Is that so? Well, let's put that aside for now. It's not why we've come here today. Mr. Grimwood, we've explained our situation to you. Is there anything you can share with us pertaining to Ravash and its recent activities? Ravash, There's a name surrounded by nothing but sinister rumors. Illegal dealings with both the Empire and Republic. The selling of stolen goods, mirror laundering, weapon trafficking, and even operating as the middleman for hiring Jaegers. I'd say it's more likely that they take advantage of Crossbill's unique situation to aid them in each and every one of their long list of crimes. What do you mean by a unique situation? What he means is, while trade and commerce have grown exponentially over the past few years, Crossbill's political foundation is quickly deteriorating, right? Well put. Crossbill and politics are currently in an extremely fragile state. The majority of politicians choose to align themselves with either the Empire or the Republic, and are nothing more than greedy, power-hungry leeches. Even if some kind of legislation to crack down on Ravash was proposed, it would never pass. There are simply too many Diet members in their pocket. For real? Damn. Unfortunately, he's correct. The number of Diet members tied to the Mafia is higher than I'd like to admit. That's likely the main reason the police can't touch them. The issue seems quite complicated, or perhaps I am simply too young to understand. Does this mean Ravash can commit any crime they want with no repercussions? No, it hasn't gotten to that point yet. If the government were to turn a blind eye to any obvious crimes on their part, I'm sure it would send Crossbellans and our surrounding nations into an uproar. Therefore, Ravash has been very careful to avoid directly interfering with the citizenry's daily lives. However, as long as they don't actually cross that line, the CPD won't lay a finger on them. They've overlooked so many of Ravash's smaller crimes so that they can't see what they've all added up to. This can't be real. Reality ain't so pretty. Behind all this city's neon lights, there are demons lurking in the shadows. I can only wonder what sort of information is inside those highly classified documents. Anyway, that's essentially all I know about Ravash. However, I need to mention that the situation with the Mafia has taken a turn. Really? Could you explain? I hear that even the CPD has only just acquired this intel, but apparently a new faction strong enough to oppose Ravash has recently surfaced, and by all accounts they are quite powerful indeed. A new faction? Certainly it's not the Bracer Guild, right? No, this new faction isn't a threat to Ravash because they're looking to bring them to justice. They're a threat because they're in the same line of business. You see, there's a powerful organization that operates out of the Republic's eastern quarter, and it's already managed to worm its way into Crossbill. What? You're certain of this? Yes. Previous rumors on this organization turned out to be true, so I have no reason to be skeptical now. They're called Heyu. Just recently, a new commercial unit registered under the name of Heyu Trading opened for business in the Harbor District. Heyu? The name certainly seems to be of Eastern origins. If things go south, it'd mean a war between the two organized crime groups. The petty fights we've seen between the street gangs would be nothing compared to that. You're absolutely right. At the very least, there haven't been overt signs of a dispute between the two groups yet. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they began battling each other outside of the public eye. The 1st Division seems to be keeping a close eye on the whole thing. You don't say. So the man with glasses who left right when we arrived was... Yes, that was Detective Dudley from the 1st Division. Coincidentally, he was asking me questions on the same topic. That must have been horrible for him. Lloyd? You went quiet all of a sudden. Let me guess, you noticed something. Yeah, I still need time to sort out it all in my head, though. Thank you very much, Mr. Grimwood. Without your help, we wouldn't have been able to find the lead we needed to move forward with our investigation. I'm just glad I could be of assistance. Sergei has always been a tremendous help to me, so personally I'll be praying for your success. If you ever run into any problems, you're welcome to stop by here anytime. So what's the next course of action? Should we go back to the SSS building and sort through all the information we gathered? Good idea. But before we do that, now's the time to wrap up any unfinished business we still have to take care of. If my hunch about the truth of these incidents is correct, well, let's just say we're in for a bumpy ride. Well, we'll just have to buckle up then, won't we? Anyhow, let's head back to base once we've crossed off everything on our to-do list. Sound good? Yes, it does. Let us make haste. What's that? A message, maybe? I've got some errands to run. Wrap up the case however you see fit. Sergei. Oh, I guess he stepped out. Who wants to bet that he ran away because the case seemed like a pain in the ass? We cannot rule out that possibility. Well, at the very least, we've been given permission to solve this case however we like. So with that in mind, what's our next step? Should we review what we know? Yeah, definitely. Let's get this meeting started then. First off, we should review all our info that's relevant to this case. The incident took place around midnight, 5 days ago. Members of both the Saber Vipers and Testaments were each ambushed by unknown assailants. However, the attacks occurred at 2 different locations in the city's downtown district. Here and here. Testament's member was attacked in the alleyway to the west, and the Saber Viper got messed up in front of Ignis, which is towards the east. In other words, the attacks happened at opposite ends of the area. Exactly, by spacing them this far apart, it prevented each group from immediately learning about the attack on the other. Both gangs took their wounded members directly back to their respective bases, and the victims were moved to the hospital the next day. Weren't the victims transported there in the same ambulance? Yeah, I can only imagine how much of a shock that was to the paramedics. The gangs, however, wouldn't be aware of the ambulance's passengers. So consequently, each group came to the conclusion that they were attacked by the other, which is what we confirmed today. Yeah, the only answer that makes sense is that there was a third party involved. Unless both groups rehearse their accounts, chances of either group being responsible for attacking the other are pretty slim. Agreed. Based on the evidence so far, it's safe to assume the attacks were the work of some third party. All we can do now is consider all the possibilities and rule out the ones that don't seem feasible. But we already have an idea who that third party might be. Isn't that right, Lloyd? Yeah. They're the ones in control of Crossbow's criminal underbelly. The notorious mafia Ravash & Co. According to the intel Grace shared with us, someone spotted mafiosos snooping around the downtown district a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, we don't have time to verify the credibility of that. But for now, let's continue the review with the assumption that Ravash was responsible for both attacks. Well, that just brings us to the next question. What was their motive? Exactly, figuring out the answer to that is crucial. If we can't figure out their motive, we're all the way back to square one. Motive, huh? There's hardly any conflict of interest between the Mafia and the two gangs. There must be some line that connects these three dots together. I imagine you already have some idea of what that is, don't you, Lloyd? Well, I guess can't say with absolute certainty, of course, but I think there's at least one thing that might connect these three factors. The only realistic possibility that comes to mind is Hayu. Oh, right, our grizzly friend mentioned them, didn't he? That definitely feels like the most likely possibility for now. In that case, though, what about Hayu connects these three? In order for them to be connected, there must be some necessity. For example, was it this connection with Hayu that made these attacks against the two gangs unavoidable? Yeah, that would explain everything. Oh? What you thinking? Well, about that necessity Tio mentioned. What do you think Ravash would do if they found out Hayu was trying to establish a foothold in Crossbow? Well, I'd imagine they want to build up their forces pronto. Recruit more people and upgrade their weaponry, you know? Ravash should have no problems getting new weapons, given their known smuggling operations. But how do they go about recruiting people? Good question. Normally you'd hire Jaegers, but that's unlikely in Crossbow's case, given the scrutiny the neighboring countries put on us. So long as the non-aggression pact stands, Ereboni and Calvert would never overlook unauthorized Jaegers entering the state. The two Diet factions representing them would likely react the same way too. Oh, that's it. Boy, could the Mafia be recruiting the gang members? Hot-blooded and more or less disciplined. Can't think of a more perfect pool of candidates to beef up the Mafia's presence in the city. But there are certain individuals in each gang preventing that, aren't there? Right. I could never see Wazy cooperating with the Mafia. And I doubt Wald would bow down to any kind of authority, even Ravash. He is not the type of person who would allow others to boss him around. So Ravash realizes this and plots to weaken the two gangs, intending to swoop in later and bag the remaining members. Hell, that must be it. Remember, this is still nothing more than a theory. All we've done is bring together the facts and try and make sense of them. Ah, look at you, being all modest. I think that your analysis of the situation isn't too far off from the truth, Lloyd. Your reasoning was sound and logical. Clearly your detective certifications were well earned. Thanks, guys, I appreciate it. So everyone, our next move should be able to explain our theory to those two, don't you think? Those two? Hey, you don't mean... I sure do. Walled Whales and Wazy Hemisphere. Leaders of the Saber Vipers and Testaments. Station Street, near where the construction materials are stored. Asking me to come here alone in the middle of the damn night. Who do these police brats think they're dealing with? Is that the last train bound for Calvert? Yes, I believe it was. Wazy. Good evening, Wald. What a beautiful night to bathe in the mystic moonlight, wouldn't you agree? Oh, this is rich. Pretend to be one of those CPD pipsticks to catch me off guard. You must think you're so damn clever. Fine, bring it on, pretty boy. If you're looking for a fight, I'm more than happy to give you one. Let's end this. You know I'm always up for a bit of late-night wrestling, but alas, I am but a mere guest at this rendezvous. The hell does that mean? You'll see soon. They just arrived. It's you punks. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. Oh no, it's a pleasure to be here. So what's this fun anecdote you promised to share with us? Well, I don't know if fun is the right word exactly, but I'm sure you'll both find it interesting at least. Hold the phone. Anecdotes? Fun? What the hell are you two going on about? Oh, Wald, you're such a simpleton. What did you... Surely you remember the incidents that occurred 5 nights ago. They're here to tell us who they believe the culprit was, obviously. The culprit? What do you mean? Impressive deduction, Wazy. I assume you already had your own suspicions? Well, at first I wondered if one of my members had perhaps acted out of line, but as I started to sort things out, I realized that something was off about the whole situation. That goes for the Saber Viper's side, too. Sadly, that's as far as my deductions could take me. I see. That will make things easier to explain, at least. Wald Wales. I know there are still gaps in our theory. Still, would you listen to what we have found so far? Fine. Keep it short. Waste a minute of my time and I'll bash that baby face of yours in. And that's what we've come to with the information on hand. I'd like to hear each of your thoughts on it. My, how unexpected. To think that we played right into the Mafia's hands. Does that mean you agree with Lloyd's theory? But of course. After all, Ravash sent some of their agents to visit us already. They asked us to work for them, promising us the moon and stars for our service. Needless to say, I immediately turned them down and sent them on their merry way. Huh, interesting. I thought it was things with one of them. So, Wald, I assume the Mafia paid you a social call as well? Yeah, about a month ago. They were acting all high and mighty, so I decided to show them what real strength looked like. Sent them packing real fast. Can't believe they actually had the balls to put a fast one on me like this. Why is he postponing our duel? First I gotta warm up by crushing the smug mug of those mobsters. Wait, you can't! Such a short temper. Calm down, Wald. Acting recklessly will just lead to... The last time was merely jest, but you really are a simpleton. Say that again. You know perfectly well that you don't stand a chance against the Mafia on your own. Just imagine it, the leader of the Saber Vipers, Wald Wales, waltzing into the Mafia's sights like a pig to slaughter. You won't stand a chance. Shut it, we don't know what'll happen till we try. Maybe you could survive, but what about your poor little Vipers? Can they catch bullets with their teeth? What do you suppose we do then, you bony wise ass? You really expect me to just sit here and swallow the shame of having our men hurt like that? Huh? Ha, of course I don't. I believe that only a small part of the Mafia was actually involved in this little scheme. As such, there's no need to take the whole organization on, just a handful of them who have it coming. and out of the way to get our revenge and ensure that they never show their faces in the downtown district ever again. I'll require your help, though, Wald. You need my help? Hold on, you two. What are you planning? If you do anything to break the law... Oh, relax. If anything illegal happens, you'll be right there to stop it. After all, you're helping too. We're doing what now? Isn't it your responsibility to resolve the conflict brewing in the downtown district? I claim that makes it your obligation to gently persuade the mafia into leaving all of us down there alone. For good. Do correct me if I'm wrong, Lloyd. Well, what exactly is Wazy talking about? I do not quite understand either. Looks to me like he's about to sink his fangs into poor Lloyd. Remember, it was you who bothered to call us out here to share your grand theory. Isn't it only natural to see this case through? Three days passed since then. Confrontation between the rival gangs died down, fortunately. Downtown district was enveloped in an atmosphere so tranquil it bordered on eerie. Then... It's way too quiet around here. Went through all that effort and those dumbasses still haven't torn each other apart? Haha, don't worry. Those guys are doused in gasoline at this point. One small spark and everything will be up in flames. Those morons won't even know what hit them. All we gotta do is find another underling or two and beat the crap out of them. Blue or red, it doesn't matter. As soon as you see one, kick his ass. And for your own sake, you better not get caught. Use a slingshot for Saber Viper and just bash one of those Testament guys from behind. Got it. With the hump again, boys. Ugh. Ha ha ha. One tiny blue bunny down. Haha, what a dumbass. Fell right into our trap. We don't got time to waste. Rough him up, boys. Just be sure you don't kill him. This is just business. No hard feelings, okay? Think again. What? What the hell? Man, I'm honestly a little shocked. I really didn't think you'd fall into our trap so easily. Who the hell is this guy? Tell you the truth, I'd be fine with cuffing you and taking you down to the precinct already. But I'm not sure the force will find just this one sting operation sufficient evidence to hold you, so I'll have to let you go this time. Aw, crap, don't tell me this guy's he's a cop? Haha, not to worry, boys. He's just a special helper. Dude, are you serious? How the hell did they fall for this? Well, its prediction was impeccable. Are you alright, Lord? Yeah, I'm fine. Putting that shock-absorbing pad under my hood was definitely a good call, though. Damn it. They're onto us? Since when? Well then, gentlemen, that raises the question, what will be your next move? Surrender peacefully now, and I may be merciful towards your misdeeds. Or if you prefer, we can do the hunting this time. That may prove entertaining. Damn. Quick, split up. Hey, hold on. Two of you, come with me. Wazy? Hey, hold on a second. Crap. What should we do, Lloyd? Come with me, Ellie. Randy, Tio, I'll leave the other group to you. Understood. You got it. Damn it, I can't believe those little brats from the police are involved. I need to contact headquarters and request backup. Hold on. If our boss finds out we screwed up, he'll... Damn. Fine, then we should at least... Where do you think you punk asses think you're going? What? When'd they get here? Checkmate. Yeah, that was easy enough. The ball's in Lloyd and Ellie's court now. Damn, those morons. Don't got much choice now. We'll have to go from the back. Ha, enough valiant effort, but no dice. Where'd you come from? Jump for it. We've got nowhere else to run now. Phew, that was quite the wild goose chase, wasn't it? Ah. Sorry to disappoint, but our fun little game of cops and robbers has come to an end. Surely you've realized your best option is to surrender, no? Look at you, cocky little brats. You think you're so damn smart? Well, we're about to show you what happens when you force professionals to get serious. Better hope you live to regret it. Seems like they want to fight after all. Well, I, for one, am happy to oblige. I can continue to count on your support, right, Lloyd? Funnily enough, I almost said the same thing. Let's do this. They're coming. You damned kids. Phew, I knew they weren't going to be pushovers, but that was tough. One appeared to be using a military-grade firearm, too. The newest model manufactured in Ereboni, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure that's just one of the many kinds of weapons their group smuggles. By the way, Lloyd, I must say you played your part as bait to perfection. The dramatic confrontation and fall... It looked so real and had me on the edge of my seat. Well, your plan didn't give me much of a choice, did it? I wasn't about to let anybody else put themselves in harm's way. And so you volunteered to take the role of bait for yourself. I was worried sick, you know. Sorry, Ellie. That soft-hearted nature of yours is sure to cause problems in the future. Although I don't necessarily find that part of you to be a turn-off. Huh? Anyway, I was able to exact my revenge, and it was all thanks to your help. Your cooperation has been much appreciated. You cocky little... Where do you get off acting like you won? Now you've done it, you sons of bitches. From this day on, you've made an enemy of Ravash. You damn rookies will rue the day. All the Diet members are on our payroll. Don't think you'll be able to get away scot-free. Is that what you think? What? Looks like you haven't taken your lesson to heart yet. New plan. I'm gonna hang you dumbasses upside down like a bunch of punching bags, then beat the absolute piss out of you. Please. Wait, Walt, that's going too far. Not to worry, you can leave the rest to us. Well, try not to get too carried away, okay? These guys are professionals after all. They could bite back even stronger next time if you mess with them too much. Whatever. How about this, boys? Why don't we keep this friendly little spat to ourselves? I doubt pros like yourselves would want your bosses to find out you got your asses handed to you by a bunch of brats like us. Such a pathetic report wouldn't go over well, now would it? Get bent, Dassel. You'd be too large under if we were taking you seriously. My, I'm no lawyer, but if you ask me, it's probably in your best interest to bow out now. Grace? What are you doing here? I've been keeping my eyes peeled for my favorite new rookies this past few days. And much to my expectations, what an absolute feast of information you've given me. Oh boy, I'm dying to write up a riveting tale in my next article about this unlikely operation. Why, you're just some bitch from the local rag. You think you could take Ravash on? Well, circumstances are more complicated than I care for, so I won't reveal your names. However, if you bad boys are caught pulling another stunt like this, I can't make any promises. Gah. Fine, whatever. We'll be going now. But if you don't keep your word, lady... Yeah, standard issue threat. Got it. To be fair, though, you're the ones that should be worrying about keeping your promises. Wouldn't want to be in hot water, would we? Crossed the line again, and a little birdie told me you might find the bracers on your tails. What? The bracers? Just a little FYI, Arius was strongly considering taking over this case. Naturally, being as in demand as he is, he was totally up to his neck in requests, so he figured he'd leave it in your guys' hands this time. Is that true? He's keeping tabs on us, eh? That appears to be the case. Oh, hell no. As if we'd ever be moronic enough to make an enemy of Arios McLean. There's no point in staying in this dump any longer. We're out of here. Oh boy. Arios McLean, the divine blade of wind. I've heard my fair share about his exploits, but didn't think the name alone would be enough to send the Mafia packing. To hell with this shit. Screw it, boys. Show's over. Get your asses moving. We're leaving. Oh. It's like, can't see the text. Yeah. I must say, I couldn't have done it without your help. So I'm assuming this means mission accomplished for you? Yeah, I suppose so. Though I guess our original mission was only to stop that one fight between your gangs a few days ago. Anyway, you shouldn't have a reason to go to war with Wald anymore, right? What are you going on about now? What? Whether the Mafia is involved or not, it's not like our relations with the Saber Vipers are going to change overnight. We're still going to view each other as a blight on our territory. That won't change. Sure, there probably won't be another large conflict between us for a while, but our regular scuffles are bound to continue, no doubt about it. Hold on now. If you don't want our future fights to get out of hand, you're more than welcome to stop by and intervene when the time comes. Perhaps you could even join in on our amicable little disputes. I'd welcome you with loving arms. I don't get the impression that he's joking in the slightest. Well then, I wish you sweet dreams, everyone. Let us return, Abbas. Our crusade is ended. Let us withdraw. Yes, sir. What an incorrigible group of men. Nah, leave them be. They're just a bunch of hot-headed dudes roaring for a fight. Nothing you can really do about it. For once, you might be right. More importantly, we've successfully resolved our mission. Isn't that right, Lloyd? Yeah, for sure. It just doesn't feel very satisfying for some reason. We're still not good enough. We had to rely on someone else to finish the job yet again. How was that? Did I nail it? What useless petty pride. There's nothing wrong with accepting a little help in times like these. How else are you gonna uncover the full truth? Once you've understood this, you guys can truly call yourself a detective. Just like your brother. Huh? Well, I think it's time for me to head on home now. I gotta go exfoliate. You'd be surprised how much I work to keep my skin this flawless. Anyway, nighty-night. Man, your brother was pretty famous, huh, Lloyd? Judging from what I've heard, it sounds like he was an extremely talented individual. When he was on the job, there weren't a lot of people that could outrank him when it came to proactiveness and persistence. At any rate, our mission is accomplished. Let's return to the SSS building and give our Chief Sergei our report. I think I get the picture. I guess you guys did pretty okay for a bunch of rookies, huh? You pooled what little experience each of you have and found a way through. Thank you, sir. That is a compliment, right? Anyway, I'm sure you caught a glimpse of it during this case. The thorny, problematic side of Crossbow. Well, yeah, it's definitely gonna be a pain in the ass. Crossbow's seedy underbelly, a complicated hotbed of corruption hidden just below the surface. It's true. Let me just remind you guys that the people over at the CPD headquarters are anything but incompetent. Sure, some idiots decide to trade away their dignity for bribes, but most of our detectives are pretty damn capable. They've got morals and a sense of justice. However, they're often stopped by certain barriers. Politicians and public officials who've sold their honor to the mafia, for example. So how about it, Lloyd? You ready to turn in your badge and become a bracer? No, sir. These barriers are the reason the special support section was established, right? No? Protects civilians above all else. The bracer's code is admirable, but it has its own limitations. Some problems can't be solved by that alone. Smuggling and illegal arms dealing, the sale of stolen goods and mirror laundering, collusion between the mafia and government officials. These are all problems that lie outside the bracer's jurisdiction. He's got a point. So even the power of the supporting gauntlet has its own limitations. However, as police officers, we have a power to right these wrongs. Countless barriers may stand in our way, but the possibility of getting over them isn't zero. He's right. We as the SSS can create opportunities others can't for true change in Crossbell. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it? Yeah, but hopefully I'm not being too optimistic. I do think that reality is not as simple as you make it out to be. However, I agree that the possibility is never zero. Take a look at this guy, would you? Doing what the head of a delinquent group volunteering as bait to lure out the mafia. Here I had you pegged as the serious type, but it turns out you're as hot-blooded as they come. Not really sure if hot-blooded is the right term, Randy. Still, working with all of you on this last case has helped me realize this. While it's true that we're still inexperienced, as long as we stick together, no matter how high they may be, there isn't a single barrier we can't overcome. Lloyd. Ah, well, how about that? Perhaps the cheesiest speech yet. You don't have to laugh that hard, Chief. You think I have my head in the clouds, don't you? Yeah, I think you're fine the way you are. While it's true that the SSS was created under some complicated circumstances, it's your guys' job to decide where we go from here. Use this division however you see fit. Chief, I might not be able to give you much direct assistance with your missions, but if you ever end up pulling some crazy stunt and take off HQ, I can at least toss you a bone and cover for you guys. We appreciate it, Chief. I see you prefer a laissez-faire approach. Sheesh, being understanding is one thing, but this is getting closer to carelessness, Chief. Perhaps laziness is more apt. Yeah, just one of the perks of being a no-good adult. Will the SSS remain a pale imitation of the Bracer Guild? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Or will it become something new? Something that creates new possibilities for the city? I, for one, am going to kick back with a cigarette and watch the fireworks. End of the prologue. These trophies. Let's see. Hidden every treasure chest. 100 hours. That's definitely gonna happen. Any one character to 50. You've activated my trap card. Seems like you had another rough month, Darius. It's fine, nothing new as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'm here regarding my payment. No problem. Via IBC as usual, I assume? Look, seeing as I'm the one giving you all these requests, I'm sure I'm the last person to talk. But maybe you should consider reducing your workload. Just a teensy bit. Can only imagine how lonely poor Shizuku must be. Whoops, sorry. I said I wouldn't bring this up anymore, didn't I? That reminds me, headquarters contacted me again. They keep bugging me to get you to accept the offer. Are they seriously still at it? I've rejected their offer numerous times already. How many more will it take? Well, can you blame them? I'm sure they're just desperate to find somebody to fill the gaping hole Cassius Bright left when he quit. Didn't you two train under the same master? You're basically equals when you look at your stats with the guilds, so hurry up and accept already. Well, that may be true on paper. We're completely different people. Unlike Cassius, I haven't solved any conflicts on an international scale. To be honest, even being considered his equal is far more than I deserve. Now, don't give me any of that. We both know that it isn't true. What about the case in Romiferia? The Grand Prince himself presented you with a Medal of Honor. If you ask me, that's more than enough of a qualification. I have to disagree. I never truly resolved the issue. I may have prevented the immediate disaster, but the masterminds responsible are still out there. I'd actually intended to refuse the medal. Gosh, Arios, you're a regular stick in the mud, you know that? Come on, accepting that promotion will drop your workload a little bit. You've done over 100 requests this month alone for Adios' sake. That can't be healthy. Well, I certainly don't feel like I bit off more than I could chew. Traveling for work isn't nearly as strenuous now that there are more trains and flights coming in and out of the city. Besides, those 2 bracers transferring here should help reduce my workload a bit. Oh, you mean those kiddies? I suppose you're right. They might be rookies, but I see a lot of potential in them. At the very least, they'll be much more dependable than those kids in the special sports section. Hey. Rude. Hello, anyone home? Oh, would you speak of the devil? Come on in, we're upstairs. Oh, on the 2nd floor? Gotcha. Thanks for having us. Hey, Mitchell. Holy smokes, Arius is here too? It's Estelle and Joshua. I'm glad we managed to catch you while you're in. Yes, it's quite a lucky coincidence. It's been 3 months or so, hasn't it? Glad to see you're both doing well. I never imagined we'd be seeing you two transferring to our little branch. This is fantastic. Now that you're both here, we'll have Crossbow cleaned up in no time flat. We may be that good, but we're not. We'd be good, but we're not that good. We'll do best to live up to your expectations. Oh, but where are our manners? We should officially introduce ourselves. Estelle Bright, Senior Bracer. Joshua Bright, also a Senior Bracer. Officially reporting for duty at the Bracer Guild's Crossbell branch. Chapter 1, Afternoon of the Wolves. The chief, sir, is late. I'd like to start our morning meeting soon if we can. I really don't think we can begin without him. I would have slept in if I knew we'd just be waiting around. Looking up at noon in the casino, letting the good times roll till the wee hours. That's the life. The life of a hopeless reprobate. Sorry I'm late, everyone. Chief Sergei, good morning, sir. Good morning. Shall we start the meeting now? No need. Just got a call from HQ. You guys have been signed a special mission today. Congrats. A special mission? Yeah, I'm getting some bad vibes already. Is it similar to the previous one? Don't look at me. They didn't give me any details. You have to go to the main CPD building and find out yourself. Your client will be waiting for you there. Well, here we are again for another visit with Vice Commissioner Jackass. I can only imagine what he wants to bitch at us about this time. Remember that we were told that this was about a client waiting for us. I think it's safe to say he didn't call us here to complain. I was feeling he would find a reason to scold us regardless. I know what you mean. We can't let it get to us, though. Lloyd Banning's reporting in. Special sports section has arrived. Come on. Come in. Excuse us. Oh, I recognize that uniform. Crossbow Guardian Force, right? Oh, hell. My, is that how you greet a former superior officer, Randy Orlando? Care to elaborate on any hidden meanings behind that outburst of yours? Oh, no, I was just surprised to see you here, that's all. You two know each other? Your reaction is that of a man with a guilty conscience. Oh, cough, cough. Show some respect, you four. This here is Lieutenant Colonel Sonia Bales, Deputy Commander of the CGF. Deputy Commander of the Guardian Force? Please forgive our misbehavior. Lieutenant Colonel is one of the higher ranks in the military chain of command. She is that distinguished? Oh, you have no freaking idea. She is the CGF's second in command, after all. Taking into account how her expertise and how much pull she's got in the force, she might as well be in charge. At ease, detectives. So you're the special sports sections I've heard so much about. Yes, ma'am. We were told you were looking to submit a support request with us. Is that right? You should feel honored, rookies. It's unheard of for useless greenhorns like yourselves to be called upon by the Deputy Commander herself. Vice Commissioner Pierre, allow me to handle it from here. But, understood. I leave it in your capable hands, ma'am. Thank you. Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Sonia Bales, Deputy Commander of the Crossbow Guardian Force. I came here to ask the Special Support Section to lend us your expertise on a particular matter. Let me begin with a brief overview of the situation. An investigation of monster attacks? That's correct, Detective. Several locations throughout Crossbow have reported similar cases of monster attacks over the past month. We'd like for your division's cooperation investigating this matter. Wait just a moment, please. You want us to investigate attacks that have been happening outside of Crossbow City? Do you take issue with that? No, ma'am, not at all. Ma'am, if I'm not mistaken, the CGF is already conducting its own investigation into the matter, correct? Considering that, is there even room for us to help? Yes, plenty, in fact. Too many questions remain unanswered to write these off as ordinary monster attacks. As much as I hate to admit, our investigators have hit a dead end. Therefore, I'm hoping the investigation will benefit from a different point of view. Different point of view? A trained detective, to be exact. One that will differ greatly from a guardsman's. By that reasoning, however, I wouldn't specifically need the special support section. I could have, for example, gone to the renowned 1st Division for their assistance instead. Well, I'd love to introduce you to them, but as you know, they are preoccupied with their duties. As you can see, a number of unforeseen circumstances have led us to seeking the aid of the SSS. Are there any objections? No, ma'am. We'll gladly accept your requests and aid you in your ongoing investigation. How exactly would you like us to assist? Sergeant Major Seeker. Yes, ma'am. Here you are. Oh, thank you. Wait. Huh? She seems... Is something wrong? I'm fine. My apologies. Can't help but feel like I've seen her somewhere before. A report? It appears to be a case file from the CGF. Correct. It contains all of our findings thus far. We'd prefer if you began your investigation having only read that file. Doing so will eliminate unwanted bias from your work. I see. In that case, we'll look through it as soon as we're done here. We'll leave it in your capable hands. Well, I suppose we'll have to excuse ourselves for now. We'll establish a direct line of communication with the SSS, so don't hesitate to contact us if you discover anything. Roger. My apologies for the disturbance, Vice Commissioner. No, not at all. Feel free to drop by my office anytime. Looks like you're a bit more comfortable with your current work, Randy. Well, you know. I'd say the work here is more thrilling than staring at the border and doing drills all day. Good to hear. I'm glad my efforts to transfer you were worth it. Let's head out, Seeker. Roger. I'll be taking my leave. Phew. Man, oh man. So she was your superior officer in the Guardian Force, Randy? Sure was. She wasn't my direct boss, though. She just gave me a bunch of tips and pointers for our training and drill sessions. Don't let her gorgeous looks fool you. You cross that lady and bam, full nightmare mode. She'll scare the piss right out of you. Knowing Randy, I can only assume his terrible work ethic set her off on multiple occasions. I could absolutely see that happening. He has a knack for getting in trouble with women. On that note, did you know the girl that was accompanying the deputy commander, Randy? Nah, never seen her before. I'd bet a pretty mirror that she's in the Tangram Gate division of the CGF. This guy's assists Deputy Commander Bales with her work. Oh, wait just a sec. Don't tell me you've taken a fancy to her. Well, Lloyd? Was it love at first sight? Well. Stare. What? No, it was nothing like that. I just had a strange feeling that I'd met her somewhere before. Oh, right. How much longer do you rookies plan to take up space in my precious office, spewing this pointless drivel? Don't tell me. Is this a plot by that good-for-nothing Sergei to have you come in here and humiliate me? No, sir, definitely not. We're terribly sorry, sir. Please excuse our rudeness. Go on, get out of here. I think that every single one of you ignored my warning. You should know full well what awaits you then. Well? Hey now. Whatever. Just enjoy that little investigation of yours out in the wilderness. I'm sure it'll be a fun little camping trip. Why don't we transfer your entire team to the Guardian Force while we're at it? We can boot that damn Sergei out along with you. If you'll excuse us. Vice Commissioner Jackass strikes again. I swear, as soon as I step in there and see that dumb tuft of hair on his forehead, my blood pressure spikes. A pathetic attempt to stave off a receding hairline. I suppose we were being disrespectful in front of him. However, that doesn't warrant his condescendingly vulgar tone with us. Let's just try to forget about him for now, guys. We should be heading back to the SSS building and go through his report. After that, we'll need to decide on the direction our investigation should take. Right. Lieutenant Colonel Bales gave the impression that these weren't ordinary monster attacks. I'm curious what she meant by when she said too many questions remain unanswered. There's been a recent string of attacks by unidentified monsters throughout Crossbill. The Guardian Force has performed an investigation in an attempt to evaluate the incidents. Witnesses at each of the 3 locations report seeing or hearing wolf-like monsters. The following 3 pages detail each case. Amarika Village. Date, time, 3 weeks ago at night. Location, entire village area. Damages. Crops and livestock of all families damaged to varying degrees. Damage not discovered until morning after, according to village chief. Eyewitnesses, none. All villagers asleep. Other evidence. Various canine prints were discovered inside the village. No similar prints found in areas outside the village. St. Ursula Medical College. Date and time, 1 week ago, night. Hospital premises. Damages. One medical resident was attacked and wounded by a trespassing pack of monsters, found by the hospital staff the morning after. Eyewitnesses, the injured resident, reported seeing black wolf-like monsters. Other evidence. None found near the scene of attack. Statement was vague and possibly inaccurate. Maine's Mining Village. Date and time, 2 days ago, 10 p.m. In front of the inn. Damages. One miner heading home was injured by a pack of monsters. A colleague rushed to his aid. Eyewitnesses. Townspeople saw wolves escaping. Other evidence. Prints discovered near the scene that resemble those found in Amaruka Village. The mining equipment in this town was damaged. This is now the third incident. Patrols may be necessary. This is worse than I thought. So it really is happening everywhere. But it seems most of these incidents haven't been reported by the media yet, though. Yeah, there's something fishy going on, no question. Though these are definitely not your typical monster attacks. Do we know whether or not these wolf-like monsters are native to Crossbell? I'm not sure, actually. But clear paw prints were found at the scene of each incident. So I think it's safe to say creatures like this exist and are in the area. But the Guardian Force's investigation still doesn't confirm their existence, right? It's a little disconcerting. For real, these monsters must be pretty damn crafty if they're able to pull off all these attacks without ever being seen. I mean, shouldn't they have hired some kind of hunter to track them down instead? Probably so. I'm not certain we'll be able to contribute much to this case. Lloyd? What's the matter? Did that ace detective light bulb of yours start flickering again? Not exactly. I was just thinking. I know these are monster attacks, but why don't we treat this as we would any other investigation? Well, I suppose the deputy commander did say she wanted a detective's point of view. Should we search for clues as per usual? Yeah, and if we treat this as a series of attacks as all being part of one large case, who would be our culprit? Obviously, these wolf-like monsters the report mentioned, right? Sounds like a pack of them's been moving together. True, and with that in mind, what would be the profile and motive of the culprits be? Huh? Motive? I understand now. You're saying that a motive isn't apparent from these reports. Exactly. If these monsters are as intelligent as we suspect, they would typically stay away from populated areas. If the motive was hunger, the medical college would be the last place they'd look for food. There has to be some hidden truth that explains their seemingly irrational behavior. Logically speaking, that does make sense. Suppose we've settled on a direction for our investigation then? I think so. We'll start by visiting the affected areas and gathering information from anyone connected to the incident. By doing things our way, we'll be able to supply the CGF with some supplementary info at the very least. I agree. Every little clue and lead we can find will go towards helping the Guardian Force. Phew, that's a relief. Here, I was thinking we'd be spending the day blindly hunting monsters in the mountains. So, Lloyd, where do you suggest we begin our investigation? Let's see. How about we start with the Amaruka Village, the first area that was attacked? Considering the Amaruka report was the most detailed, maybe we'll be able to gather enough clues to start building a profile of the monsters. That sounds like a good start. Amaruka Village is northeast of Crossbell City, right? Yeah, we should be able to get there by taking the bus from the east exit. And needless to say, this is our first mission outside of the city. We don't know what we're heading into, so let's make sure we leave well prepared. Makes sense? To be safe, we should check any new support requests that have come in too. We're running into a problem. Namely, people are checking out books and not returning them on time. I need help retrieving them, so see me at the city library in the administrative district. Hunting for ingredients. I'm seeking ingredients to use in a new special bread recipe. Can you guys lend me a hand? Please come see me at Morgs, the bakery on West Street. Since the new service. We're recruiting people to help us implement a new service here at the IBC. If you have Sepith on hand, can we please have a moment of your hand? Thanks in advance for your assistance. Oh yeah, some engineer-looking guy stopped by recently. Left me with some thing he called an orbital staff. Said it's some fancy new weapon, but who the heck would I sell a fishy thing like this to? An orbital staff, you say? That's what you use, right, Tio? I was under the impression that it was still in the testing phase of its development, though. Forget who you're selling it to. How are you even able to sell it in the first place? You said a man that looked like an engineer? I admit this whole thing is setting off quite a few alarm bells for me. Actually, that man might have been my boss. Your boss, huh? From the Foundation? Yes, exactly. He may have come to drop off a newer model of the orbital staff for me to test. Though I can hardly fathom why he would not just give it to me himself. Yeah, I gotta say I'm just as stumped over this one. Not sure what the deal with this thing is, but I can sell it to the girl, right? Go on and buy it then. I already had to pay for the shipment. Jeez. Good morning, Neston. Oh, hello everyone, good morning. Are you headed off somewhere? Yes, I'm amazed you can tell. Being in the business for as long as I've been, you learn to recognize these things. You know what they say, it's better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it. Prepare well and please make sure you don't forget to pack anything. Well, if it isn't our favorite swimsuit magazine connoisseur. You haven't missed a week. You're going to put my future kids through medical college at this rate. And you can bet I'll be back at every week for these girly mags. At this point, it's pretty much my life's work. Remember you introduced yourself as such a man, but still, swimsuit magazines, huh? Randy, don't you think maybe you shouldn't bring that up in front of Ellie and What was that? My best pal Lloyd wants me to hook him up with the sickest mags? Anything for you, my man. I'll give him to you later. Oh, no, no, no. You know for a fact that wasn't what I was saying. Don't you dare drag me into this. Stare. Maybe I should have kept quiet. Special sports section. Are you in some sort of trouble? Oh, no, nothing like that. It's just, well, what harm is there in telling him about the case? After all, he might know this something. She's exactly right. You never know what you may learn from someone if you don't take the first step to communicate. Go on, ask me anything you like. Well, if you insist. Lloyd explained that the SSS had taken a case revolving around the appearances of wolf-like monsters throughout Crossbell State. Wolf-like, you say? I certainly have heard of them, but unfortunately monsters of any sort are outside of my area of expertise. No biggie. We figured as much. By the way, what was the matter with that you said you heard about, Mr. Grimwood? Ah, yes. A Mainz merchant recently asked me for an appointment. He wanted to discuss the effects of the monsters were having on his business. However, thanks to the CGS patrols, the monsters haven't appeared since. The appointment ultimately fell through. Hey, what's up, Nick? I see, interesting. That corroborates the report we were given. There don't seem to be any new attacks. Yeah, I say we still start our investigation in America Village, like we planned. As always, we appreciate your help, Mr. Grimwood. My pleasure. Just sorry that I couldn't provide more help than I did. Remember, if you need anything else, my doors are always open. It's going pretty good. This is my second playthrough of this game. Last time I played through it was like a just like fan translation, so it finally got translated officially after like 10 years of being out in Japan, so it's really good. Alright, gonna talk to Arios. It's good to see you all. Hello again, Arias. It's been quite some time, hasn't it? There's no need to be so nervous. You did a fine job handling the incident downtown. You were able to resolve the matter before we intervened. Oh no, it was nothing really. I bet he would have settled the whole thing with a single swing of his blade. I cannot help but feel like he has us dancing in the palm of his hand, as they say. Yeah, if you haven't checked out the Trail series, you definitely should. Starting with Trails in the Sky on Steam. Definitely really good games. They're very text heavy, but they're very good. Let's see. The east exit. Oh, you're that lad we sat with on the train, right? Ah, I remember you. Haha, it's been a while, hasn't it? Indeed it has. About a month or so, I believe. I seem to remember you were saying you were reporting in to your first day of work that day. How's the job been treating you? It's hard, but I'm managing. I feel like I'm slowly getting used to it. Ho ho, are these your colleagues? It's nice to see a group of young people working together toward a better tomorrow. I don't know how much I can help, but feel free to drop by and chat if you want to. Back in my day, I was a merchant. I was lucky to have a few connections around the state. Oh wow, I never knew that. Who are you acquainted with exactly? Let me think. There's the mayor of Crossbell, and there's a certain association of merchants. On top of that, a good friend of mine is also the director of St. Ursula Hospital. Lord? Isn't this guy kind of a big deal? Sir, what do you do for a living? Haha, I'm glad you asked. I'm the sitting chairman of Crossbell's Business Owners Association. Oh, don't get getting all nervous now. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. His appearance does not play the part, though. So this is Chairman Moores of the Business Owners Association. Oh. What a nice group of young, youthful people we got here. Are you all going on a trip? Yes, ma'am. We've got some business to take care of at America Village. My, that's quite the journey. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't you take this all with you? Lemonade. Oh, is this some sort of iced lemonade you gave me on the train? Indeed it is. Remember to drink some while you're on the road if you feel dehydrated, okay? Roger that, man. Oh, gosh. Alright. Get some missables. There she is. Welcome. I'm going to teach you guys how to make some delicious juice of your own. It's important that you rehydrate your bodies after a long walk or intense workout. Fresh fruit juice. Hell yeah. Nope. We have no ingredients for it, but juicy steak. Alright, where's it gone? Bell Apartments. It's down here. Well, President Lloyd and his friends. Haven't seen you in quite some time. How's everything? Is work going well? It's alright, I guess. It's nothing more than a bunch of chores. Oh, don't sweat it. Everybody starts off doing the grunt work. While you're here, why don't I give you a few cooking tips? Given how many calories you must burn in a day, it's crucial that your diet has the proper vitamins and minerals you need. Juicy steak. Alright. Okay. What's up here? Yep. Oh, that reminds me. Did you hear the news? The CPD is currently conducting a survey on monsters local to Crossbell. Really? What exactly does that entail? Well, I'm sure you're already aware that your combat notebook has a section for monster entries, right? After defeating a monster, officers are supposed to record its information in their notebooks. That data is just what we need for the survey, so once you start filling up the notebook, come and show it to me. Yeah. I'll give you a small bonus too. Stop by when you can. Looks like you've been hard at work filling out your combat notebook. I'd like to record your information into our database. Mind if I see it a minute? With pleasure. There you go. $500. And you material. Okay, time to get some overdue books. The most exciting of side quests. Hi again, Uncle Miles. Ah, Lloyd, it's good to see you. Have you come to borrow more books? Actually, we're here for your requests. I believe you sent a request to the SSS for help, right? You were asking for help to locate and retrieve some overdue books. By golly, you're right. I did submit a request like that, didn't I? Let's get to it, shall we? Allow me to explain the details. Yeah, of course. Splendid, you're doing me a huge favor. You see, several of our patrons have yet to bring in their overdue books. I'd like for you to locate them and return them to me. Understood. Doesn't sound too bad to me. Sure, do you have their addresses? Yep, that information is tied to their library cards. Give me a moment to bring it up for you. First person is Faye, who lives on Belheim Apartments on West Street. Next we have Clarice from Acacia Apartments on East Street. Last we have Raymond from the CPD headquarters in the administrative district. Come on, man. Raymond, you must stop embarrassing us. I'm sorry, Uncle. I wasn't expecting someone from the force to lack punctuality. Don't worry about it. I'm just hoping that the reader was so engrossed by the contents of their book that they simply forgot to return it on time. Yeah, that's definitely what it was. I sense that your hopes are highly unlikely. There are quite a number of people out there who pay no regard to the rules. What? The hell are you looking at me like that for? No reason. Anyway, our objective is clear. We'll retrieve those books for you ASAP. Great, thank you. Please return to me once you collected all 3 books. I'm counting on you. Alright. Talk to Pansy. That's about as good of a name as Trant was earlier. Doesn't seem like Faye is in right now. Guess I'll just ask this girl then. Excuse me, are you one of Faye's daughters by any chance? I think I remember seeing you when you were very little. I remember thinking that you and Wendy were so different from each other. It's hard to believe you're sisters. Huh? Oh yeah, I think I remember you. You're Sis's friend, right? Oh, you still remember me? Actually, I wanted to ask your dad a quick question if he's around. Is he at work or something? Oh, Dad? He's off on a business trip. He won't be back for another 2 months. Sounds like we're out of luck then. Yeah, I'm not about to start going through his stuff without permission. Are you guys looking for something? Yes, we're here to retrieve a book your father borrowed from the library. Do you recall him making any mention of it? Is it the one I'm reading right now? Mind if I take a look at it? I can check to see if it is. Sure. It's got a stamp from the library. It's probably the one. Oh, phooey. Seriously, Dad, I can't believe you leave on a business trip without returning your book. Sorry about that. Do you mind taking the book in for me? Are you sure? Didn't you say you're in the middle of reading it? I believe you can apply for an extension at the library's front desk. No, it's okay. I was kind of just looking through it. It's actually pretty boring. I mean, did you even read the title? Let's see. Train Fanatic Rex. Yeah, it sounds like some niche literature to me. I bet Dad borrowed it to try and get me interested in becoming a railway engineer. I'm not going to fall for his tricks that easily. No siree. So yeah, feel free to return it for me. Sure thing. Thanks for helping us out. Excuse me, would you be Clarice? Oh yes, how may I help you? We're here because of a support request we received from the city's library. You borrowing any books from the library that you've yet to return? Oh, I am. I completely forgot about it. Oh dear, I'm afraid this book is long overdue by now, isn't it? Appears she had a mere lapse in memory. Suppose I'm becoming more forgetful with age. I'm sure Noelle wouldn't let me hear the end of this if she found out. Anyway, please wait here for a moment while I get it for you. That should be the one. Mark and the Witch. Oh, this book. What's up, Mademoiselle? You read this before? Yes, actually. It's one of the most popular fairy tales at the library. Whenever my neighbor Serena goes to work, she always asks if I can watch over her after her little brother. You got? So I thought it might be a fun idea to read books together, which led me to this one. Glad to see you so taken in by it. Yep. Oh, really? I kind of want to read it now, too. Well, thank you very much for your cooperation, ma'am. Oh, not at all. The pleasure's mine. Believe me, I make sure to return my books on time from now on. Gotta take my meds real quick. Alright. We good. Now to call the police on themselves. How's it going, Detective Raymond? Oh, if it isn't the SSS, you guys got some business that I should attend to? I'll admit, you guys got guts playing dumb like this, as if we'd be fooled by your little act. But we see right through you, Raymond. The real culprit here is you! What? Randy, cool with the pranks, okay? It was not even clever. Oh, come on, I'm a police officer, aren't I? I had to pull out that line at least once in my life, you know? What's he going on about? Sorry about that, Detective Raymond. We're here because of a request from the library. You wouldn't happen to have an overdue library book, would you? Ah, crap, now that you mention it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have one. Yeah, yeah. So, Detective Raymond, did you perhaps misplace this book of yours? Psh, no, I don't think so. Why the uncertainty then? I'll go look for it. Phew, I managed to find it. Here you go. Women Who Changed the World. Phew, thank goodness. Really left us in suspense there, Raymond. Though I have to ask, what inspired you to check out this particular book? To my knowledge, it's a pretty extensive account of historic female figures and the incredible feats they've accomplished. Yeah, well, when I saw the title, I thought I was checking out a photo album with a bunch of hot chicks across the continent. After I cracked the thing open and realized it was definitely not that, I kinda just left it in my drawer and forgot about it. I do not think the library is the right place to search for that kind of book. Well, we got the book back, so all's well that ends well. We appreciate your cooperation, Detective Raymond. Anytime, guys. He's going straight to jail. Do not pass go. Go straight to jail. Oh, you're back. Were you able to collect all the overdue books already? Sure did. Here you are. Trained fanatic. Yeah, yep. Great. Looks like you managed to collect all three of them in one piece. Thanks again. I'm glad I have a group of reliable folks like you to count on. We're quite happy to hear that. I believe this completes your requests. It sure does, Tio. Thank you so much. I might just have to reach out to you guys again in the future. Anytime. We're always happy to help. Now, if I can remember where the bank is. Is it through here? No. Oh, it's in the Harbor District. That's what it is. Welcome to the International Bank of Crossville. Oh, no, that's a surprise. It's been quite a while, hasn't it, Mrs. McDowell? Huh? Are you acquainted, Ellie? Hello, Lanfei. Indeed, it has been a while. I haven't seen you since you returned from your studies abroad. Oh yes, that reminds me. Would you like me to inform Miss Croyce of your arrival? She's currently overseeing Michelin's operations, but I'm sure she'd rush back if I notified her that you were here. Glad to hear that Belle's still keeping herself busy. That's okay, though. I'm not here to discuss anything important with her today. I'll visit her another day when I have the chance. Is that so? I'll send her your regards, then. Damn, Mademoiselle's got connections in the IBC? Yeah, and they seem to be on pretty friendly terms, too. She continues to uphold their image of the perfect noble lady. I can hear you, you know. Aren't we here to get work done, Lloyd? Oh yeah, you're right, we are. Whoops, got a bit too sidetracked. Please allow me to introduce ourselves. We're members of the CPD's Special Support Section. I believe we received a request from the IBC for help. Oh, is that what that's all about? My apologies, I'll explain the details to you immediately. Great, thank you. You may have read about it in the finance section of the paper already, but the IBC will soon be rolling out a new service to exchange Sepith. Essentially, our service will allow patrons to exchange Sepith at a higher rate than the average market value. So you're offering to cough up more dough than your everyday shop? Man, talk about deluxe treatment. The service's purpose is to amass a large reservoir of Sepith due to the scarcity of natural septium. The IBC is unparalleled when it comes to designing simple yet effective initiatives. You flatter us. However, due to counteract theft and Sepith counterfeiting, we're limiting the service to IBC members for the time being. Our main goal is to make it so that we can store the Sepith in our terminals. We'd like for you to help us beta test this feature, hence the request. Sounds good. What exactly do we need to do? Great. First things first, please take this card with you. You'll need to present that card to me here in order to perform an exchange. Additionally, for this beta test, we'll need you to exchange a specific amount of Sepith. 30 of each type of Sepith should be sufficient. Got it. Sounds cool. Let's give it a spin. Oh, by the way, there's no requirement for us to deposit them all at the same time. We can turn it in little by little while we take a break from our other requests. Nope. Not that much. Oh. Appears you've managed to exchange 30 of each Sepith type. Just one moment, please. Hello, this is the reception desk. I'd like to convert 30 of each type of Sepith into mirror, please. Right. Okay, I see. Yes, understood. Confirm the transaction with our employees at the exchange terminal. There was an incident where an employee confused ERP Sepith with Space Sepith, but we were thankfully able to clear that up. Here's hoping things will run smoothly from now on. I'm guessing they got a bit more hands-on experience now. I'm glad it'll be of service to you. Oh, of course, you've been an immense help. Not much, but please take this as a token of our appreciation. A rather generous reward? But that's not all. You can keep using the VIP card I gave you earlier. You're our special guest, so you may continue to use our exchange service as you please. Please consider it as another token of our thanks. You sure about this? Isn't this too much? And this service is supposed to be meant for IBC members only? You're telling me we're getting these awesome perks all thanks to Mademoiselle here? I highly doubt that's the reason why. You're not giving us special treatment because of me, right, Linfei? Of course not. Please visit again if there's anything I can assist you with in the future. Alright. Time to get baked. Well then, everything seems to be running smoothly. Thanks again. You've been a great help, Chief. This kind of algorithm is especially challenging. Is that? I've not seen you in some time, Chief. That voice. Oh, well, if it isn't Tio, how are you doing these days? Chief, is that man your boss? That is correct. He is my direct boss and the chief of the Orbital Staff Development Division. He specializes in orbital computer networking. and acts as the head of the Epstein Foundation's Crossbelt branch. Suppose you could call him my supervisor. Everything appears to be running smoothly at the new division of the CPD. Quite relieved to see you doing well. But why don't you ever come by to deliver reports, Tio? I'm quite worried about you. Is that the official explanation behind your gracious delivery of an orbital stash to the weapons shop for me? You know, now that I think about it, Wendy mentioned that somebody from the Foundation drops by pretty frequently. Well, you see, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that. God, I've really done it now. Tio's no doubt angry with me. But how can she expect me to leave a child like her to her own devices in a city like this? Grumble, mumble. Your behavior is suspicious, Chief. What? What could you possibly mean? Please refrain from secretly leaving new equipment for me at different locations. I'm not trying to participate in a scavenger hunt. Haha, I see your point, Tio, and I'm terribly sorry for all this, truly. Please don't be upset with me. It's precisely your behavior at times like these that upsets me, Chief. You're right, I understand. Are you being too harsh, Tio? I am unable to help it. I am irritated beyond comprehension. Hey Lloyd, back again already? Haha, you in the mood to chow down some bread? Not quite. Instead of chowing down, don't you think we have something else to attend to? You sent a request to us, right? Did I? Please notify any other Oscars on the premises of our arrival. Come on, Oscar, we're here on the job. Oh yeah, I remember now. I wanted to see if you guys could help me gather some ingredients for a new kind of bread. Our usual supplier's running late, so we're kind of low on stock. Ah, gotcha. Well, you certainly can't bake without any ingredients. You could say that again. So you guys mind lending me a hand? If that's all there is to it, you can leave it to us, Oscar. So what kind of ingredients are you looking for? Well, I've got plenty of butter and flour. I wanted to gather 4 pieces of fish fillet and 3 monster eggs if you're up to the challenge. That's it. We can snatch those up on the outskirts of the city, no sweat. That's convenient. We'll try gathering them as we deal with our other support requests. Oh, shoot. We just barely missed it. Damn it, that ain't our luck. You got any idea when the next one's coming? I think it shouldn't be too long of a wait. According to the schedule here, next bus will depart in approximately 2 hours. 2 hours? Seems like you were a little off the mark there, Lloyd. Well, that's just great. I was hoping we could make it to the hospital later today, too, but so much for that. Guess we could start an investigation somewhere else today, but honestly, I'd rather not. Neither would I. We've only just decided on how to proceed, too. Given the circumstances, could we not simply walk to Amarillo Village? Tio? Whoa there, you can't be serious. Judging by the distance shown on the map, I would estimate that it takes approximately 1.5 hours to walk there. Conversely, sitting and waiting for the next bus will see us there in 2.5 hours. As such, would it not be more efficient for us to walk to America? When you spell it out like that, it certainly does make sense. I've actually heard stories of how beautiful the countryside along the road can be, with all the monsters. Perhaps it'd be much more enjoyable if we think of it as a fun little hiking trip, right? Dude, these gals seriously trying to convince themselves this to be a fun little stroll? It's painfully obvious they never trekked the highway by foot. What are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing really. You know, monsters tend to roam about the highways. Are you two okay with that? I hadn't thought of that. Well, we ventured into the geofront though, so I think we'll be fine if we run into a few monsters here and there. Additionally, I still need to accumulate more combat data for my old orbital staff. I would actually prefer some additional combat experience. Alright, you convinced me. Let's walk then. Alright, we should get going. I'm actually looking forward to this a little now. Had I known this would happen, I would have prepared us lunch. We could have had a cute countryside picnic along the way. That is true. We should arrive at the village by noon, however. Perhaps we can have lunch there once we arrive. Hey, Randy, it's up to us to protect them if they get worn out on the way there. Don't worry, I got this, man. Let's go back and buy some stuff. Does this look alright? Alright. Hmm? Oh, beast flesh. There we go. Come on. There we go. There we go. What? Finally. Sheesh. Alright. Now I just gotta do this one. Tomato. There we go. It's hard to tell with these people. Can't do that one. Can't do that one yet. Alright. Oh, sheesh. There it is. Gosh, this is so annoying. Just make it a really good one or a really bad one. That's all I want. Thank you. There we go. Alright. Leather jacket. Welcome to the Crossbell Watchtower. We don't know what it's for either. Thought you were supposed to serve the people, but here you are helping yourself. Aw, that's a waste. Oh well. Contents of this chest is brought to you by the International Break Across Bill. Visit us for premium Sepith exchange rates. It's empty, but the woodwork is amazing. Is it chestnut? Can you feel how hard this chest is? I could bench press your entire party. That's great. There. Still no beast flesh, huh? Looks like we hit a fork in the road. Pretty sure we have to go north in order to reach Amarika Village. Yep, the road on the left will take us there. This is a lot tougher than I thought it'd be. Agreed. I did not anticipate how strenuous of a hike it was. These monsters running around the highway aren't helping either. You two look like you're about to pass out. Looks like it's about time we took a breather. What do you say, ladies? No, I think I'll be okay. What about you, Tio? As much as I'd love to admit defeat right about now, I was the one who suggested we walk, so I must persevere. Well, as long as you're okay with it. Just remember that if you can't take much more of this, you can also ask good old Randy for a piggyback ride. Or would you rather ride on my shoulders? Pass. I do not wish to be treated like a child. Furthermore, I doubt you would be satisfied with someone of my stature riding on your back, if I am not mistaken. Hey, true enough, I'd rather have a chick with a voluptuous... wait a second. Don't make me out to be some weirdo. I was just trying to be nice. She got you hook, line, and sinker, Randy. Anyway, let's keep moving. I'd be surprised if we didn't run into any more monsters. So let's take it slow and steady. Don't be afraid to let us know if you need to take a break, Tio, alright? Roger. Next time I'm using a lock. Come on. Is the chest half full or half empty? Neither, it's completely empty. Cool necklace. The chest is empty and exercises its right to remain silent. Oh, good timing. A rest area, eh? Really? Oh, thank Gadios. How about we take a break here? We can even admire the view while we catch our breath. Sound good? Yes, I could definitely use a break. To be honest, that would be ideal. Sounds like a plan. I'm always game to kick back and take a load off. Ah, what a nice breeze. Feel like I'm finally caught my breath. Me too. Now at this rate, I'm likely to fall asleep. Haha, I know how you feel. I'm really glad we got this lemonade now. It helped me perk up a bit. You and me both. Watching the ice melt, I couldn't help but chug mine down in one gulp. Yes, it was the perfect cold drink for a hot day like this. We should really go back and thank someone. Thank her when we have the opportunity. This really is a great view of the countryside, isn't it? Almost feels as if we were taken straight out of a fairy tale. For real, and all the old ruins scattered around really add to the vibe. I bet history buffs would have a field day here. Indeed, I believe most of them were built during the Middle Ages and have sat untouched since then. Come to think of it, I recall being told this whole area once served as a massive battlefield. A battlefield here? Yes, the result of one of many wars between Erebonia and Calvard. I heard the ancient battlefield is nearby as well. The ancient battlefield. Sounds pretty interesting. We don't come out here too often, so you guys want to go check it out? Now's not a really great time, given we're already behind schedule. Yeah, we'll have to leave that for another day. Randy, please do not try to rope us into your slacking. Hey, what's the matter with you guys? You're way too young to have no sense of adventure. I heard Crossbones never left the city, but I really didn't believe until now. You're telling me you seriously never get the itch to just get out there and spread your wings in the great outdoors? Not really. People who grew up in the city usually don't feel the need to go anywhere else. Almost everything you could ever want is right there anyway. Crossbill has always been a trade city, so for the most part we've had access to any goods we might need. Further, the most international travel these days is done by airship or train. Recently, cars and Orville buses are available to take us wherever we need. Honestly, it's been quite some time since I've walked this far. Though I was not raised in Crossbill, I can certainly relate. I was living in one of the Foundation's research labs for the past few months, so it's been some time since I last walked this much. Modern conveniences really are turning us into a bunch of lazy bums, huh? You, on the other hand, Lloyd, you look like you still got plenty of energy to spare. Well, I owe that to the Police Academy's survival and fitness training. Still, my stamina doesn't hold a candle to yours, Randy. All that training with the CGF must have really paid off. You haven't even broken a sweat yet. Yeah, probably used to running everywhere. Oh hey, it looks like it's back. It must be the bus making its return trip to the city. For a moment I was sorely tempted to stop the driver so I could go back home. If you did that, then you'd have walked all this way for nothing. Come on guys, we're in the final stretch now. Just a bit more and we'll be at the village. I hope so. Fine. Let's get the show on the road, ladies. I believe in you. You know, it's been bothering me for a while now. What exactly is this thing supposed to be? Looks like that weird metal box back at headquarters, doesn't it? Yeah, I've been eyeing it too. There's a bunch of juice and coffee on display. What gives? This will be an orbital vending machine. Is this the first time you've seen one? You insert mirror coins into the slot. You can choose the drink you want, and the machine dispenses accordingly. Since they're originally developed by the Epstein Foundation, you would often find them all over research facilities. Apparently, they're being tested out in Crossbow as well. Wow, seriously? Were you aware of these gadgets, Mademoiselle? No, this is the first time seeing one too. It's hard to believe that all these inventions by the Epstein Foundation are starting to pop up all over Zemuria. Granted, I have heard that they have some incredibly influential and wealthy sponsors. Please resort to coins if you intend on using it. Bills are incompatible with this model. Thanks for the heads up. I'm curious. I should try it out at least once, right? And not worth it. There you go. A bracer robbing a chest, I can understand, but a cop? That's low, man. Sure, you stole from me, but it's all water under the bridge now. Ah. Probably gonna stop once I get to the city. Forgot how long this trek was. Growing up, I always wanted to be a dancer. My father made me take up boxing, though. Hope your pockets are now loaded with Sepith. No! I needed to scan him. Damn it. 100 victories. I put out a joke about law enforcement here, but it'd be a bit of a cop-out. After that string of chest thefts in Liberal, you'd think they would have some locks installed. Phew, America Village. We finally made it. Ellie, Tio, how are you holding up? I'm doing fine. That break really helped. I'm also alive by some miracle. I must admit, though, this village is quite beautiful. A rural village surrounded by fields of blooming flowers. It's absolutely breathtaking. And there's an irresistibly sweet smell in the air. Is that honey? Yeah, I can smell it too. Looks like there's an apiary over that way. According to the database, the honey from America Village is one of the area's specialties. Due to its quality, the demand for American honey is quite high, so it is exported across all Samaria. Yeah, I believe it. I'd always see it being sold in grocery stores and markets. This is where it comes from? That's right. It's quite a different feeling experiencing something firsthand rather than simply reading about it in books. Ellie, is everything okay? Oh, don't mind me. More importantly, at a glance, this village seems so tranquil. It's almost hard to believe it recently fell victim to a monster attack. I know what you mean. Looking around, all I see is a carefree, happy village. Well, based on the CGF's report, they first spoke to the village chief for details on the incident. Okay, let's do the same. If anyone here is up to date on the situation, it'll be him. Where does he live, though? I suppose we'll need to ask around. There it is. Buddhist Frogger. Let's see if I can... Helmet Hunter. What is the Helmet Hunter? This thing? Yeah. Try a couple more times, and then if not, we'll just find them later, I guess. This is quite annoying. Get some of these chests real quick. Oh, at the inn. And board by the back. Omelet rice? Can't say I've ever tried that before. Well, it looks like you have the chance to now. Recipe's written right here, so let's jot it down. Nothing like stealing to make you really appreciate being a cop. Alright. Probably gonna stop here for the night, and then we'll pick up back in America Village, which is probably gonna be a little more interesting than this one, since I'll be getting more into the meat of things. But thanks everyone for stopping by, and have a good night.